You found me somehow. Hello, hello. It's Justine. You found me in the void. Maybe there's a message in here for you, something that you need to figure out something in your own life. But I'm going to share some channeled messages that I've gotten over the last few days that I don't totally have worked out. But if I keep waiting, I won't do it. So I want to share. And, anything that doesn't make sense or doesn't apply to you, no big deal. But if it does, you might even know more about it than I do. We'll see. Everything's been cleansed. All right, so just jumping right in because that is my style. I'm not prepared. I am just going straight in. All right, so I got very clearly catch 22. And what I thought of was the saying catch 22, which I understood to mean something that's somehow impossible, like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I remembered that I read the book. I know it's a famous book, but I read it in like grammar school or something, and I don't really remember. It didn't resonate at the time. So I looked it up, and some of the themes that stood out were that it's in a non-linear format. Okay, that's something I can relate to. Maybe you can too. Having to do with time, the absurdity of war. I'm not going to get too into that, but it certainly applies in the real world. Sanity versus insanity, and this stood out to me. Um, so the main character, protagonist, Yossarian, I wrote this down. So he appears unhinged to things around him, but he's in a lethal war. So he has a desperate desire to stay alive, which seems like the only logical response. But somehow there's a loophole in the bureaucracy that he's functioning in where he has to stay. He can't go because to admit the obvious would be insane in some way. Okay. So I'm not going to explore that too much further because, I mean, we could spend a lot of time on that. The bull, which I spoke about in my last reading, if you want to check that out, um, a sculpture. I don't want to spend too much time on that either. I also just got the message Southwest. So I'm not sure about that one, but Southwest may apply to something in your life, or maybe I'm not connecting the dots here. I don't know. The bull is in Manhattan. The Equator was another thing that I heard as a channel. And then this idea of a spiritual battle, I got a lot of that from this card when I was doing a reading. And it was about the world being sideways, which is ungrounded because there's disturbance in the crown or crown chakra or your messages from spirit because of this sideways action. It has something to do with disturbing the pentacles. I mean, if you think about it, if you have some sort of matter in a container of any kind, and and when it's straight up, all of the matter drops to the bottom and things are as they should be, then if you put it on the side, it sort of disperses the matter in a way that disturbs things, and no judgment on whether those things are good things to disturb or not. But something with that, which also applies to an image I received. I'll just jump to this, but it looked like this, but this way, like a kind of like a chessboard. But then in my head, it turned this way, and I saw an axis going up, and I was thinking about it in terms of chess, like some sort of a diagonal action. But then it clearly looked like a sculpture that is, gosh, it's in the village somewhere. I, I'm not sure where, but if you guys are familiar, it's called the Cube by people, from the area. And it's literally like a big cube sculpture that you can actually turn on its axis because it's like this. And people just hang out there. like back in the day, skaters used to hang out there. So I looked that up, and it's called the Alamo. I'm not going to get like too into that either. But I know the Alamo happened, if I, gosh, I hope I'm not wrong about this, but I think it was in Texas, which I don't think, does that qualify as the Southwest? I know it's in the South. It's not the Southwest though. Um, so yeah, I like, maybe I'll come back to this at some point, but it might make sense to someone else. And then I got this other image with Mother Mary, which I'm hearing a lot and getting a lot from Mother Mary, something about that. And the image was like this, almost like where's Waldo was what I heard when I heard this. And then like these structures or teardrops, or I don't know what this is, but it's somewhere in this maze. And it's like, where is she? So again, this stuff is like really unstructured and a little non-linear, and totally don't know 100% what this means, but I want to share it in case somebody else has some ideas about that also. So, I'm someone who transmutes physical pain, on a daily basis because of a physical condition that I have. And so I've understood about myself that I process energy from the earth, from the stars, from my real life through the body and specifically the fascia. And I've been doing a lot of that lately because the energy has been so intense. And one of the channels that I received was about in certain chakras that you have that may not be. Hold on, my cat is coughing. I'm going to be right back. Hi, I'm back. What I was saying is that if there's something in your chakra system that is maybe a little clogged or blocked, you may find that the fascia surrounding that area, like if it's in the root, it may be in your hips, in your pelvis. You may want to do exercises there that'll help work some of that energy through to open everything up. And it could be a head massage that you need, or a neck, for like your throat chakra. So maybe that could help. Now, I really hope that my mic isn't rubbing up against my shirt. I guess we'll find out soon. But I already shuffled these and I have no idea what the message is going to be about. So we're just going to go with it. Yeah, I don't have to shuffle these. Let's just see. And you can always hold your finger down if you don't want to wait for the next card, because that's an intuitive process as well. That one. Queen of Wands. So if this is your energy or someone around you, this is a very magnetic energy. The center of something, the center of the star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is that? Eight prongs on that star? Something to that. This looks like pearls and stars. This is like manifesting in the moment, really just drawing things to you, like your dreams. Dream maker, making dreams come true. Let's see what would be in the challenge position to that right now is Knight of Swords. There's some sort of information that is needed or is coming. Maybe there's concern about that. Certain amount of exposure here. Traveling might be an issue, or even your thoughts. Maybe in order to manifest or bring this particular goal in your life into fruition, you have to receive or give information in a way that you're not used to. Word travels fast, I just heard. Yeah, because there's something that is really at the forefront here that is hidden or an illusion, something mystical. There's hope, but we're not seeing the results of that. What we're seeing is all this other stuff. There might be a lot of pride involved as well. So people kind of protecting what they know because they don't necessarily want to make changes. Like, look over here, but there's like something going on over here. Oh, that just flew out. Heartbreak in the recent past. This is like, I see this bird as a divine messenger, like looking over, surveying. This may be some sort of a life review, or if it's not about you, it could be things that are going on around you that hurt, something in the past. That's something in the past that's also peeking out now. So this could be an old fear, some sort of imposter syndrome, or all of a sudden these dreams are manifesting. And have we dealt with the stuff that's happened already that could peak up again? And are we ever really done, right, with that? Maybe it's just understanding that we're integrating the healing process with the growing process. It's not always one or the other. You know, the water in the land in the moon card is calling to me right now. It's like something from the depths of the sea crawling out onto the shore. And it's like we don't know if we're supposed to fear it or embrace it, if it's going to help or hinder things. And sometimes you just want to stay put. Yeah, stay put. Hanged one. Because, yeah, there's no doubt that what's happening right now is having people evaluate things, because we're looking at something from a higher perspective, not wanting to hang upside down, finding any way to be right side up so you can evaluate things. Because typically in the hanged man or hanged one in this one card, it's a man hanging upside down. This is somebody in a monorail from above looking down, peeking at something. It's almost like everyone else is sleeping. It's the nighttime, but there's something going on, and I'm looking at it. Purple. This message or this information, it's like coming in sideways. It's not something you're going to like see in a letter that's straightforward or in any way like that. This is something that has to, it's like you're getting information and you're also having to decipher or decode and rely on that. You're relying on your own perspective, your intuition. Do you see that? It's like you're relying on your perspective here, not necessarily what you're reading, what you're seeing, but how you see it from your unique perspective of what you've been through in your own life experiences. What's the adversity you've faced? Because it's the thing that is going to somehow help you to manifest, because you have to look at it a different way. What skills did you develop along the way that maybe you haven't led with these skills? Might not be what you do for a living or even your regular way of communicating, but you're going to have to stretch yourself a little bit because things are not straightforward. In the future position right here, the near future, there's the death card. This is a overhaul, a transformation. It's like this little rat here. He's trying to escape what's going on underneath this manhole here. He's like, yeah, I had nothing to do with this. I'm just bye, you know. But there's evidence because this piece of gum is the same color as his tail. So it's like you can run, but you can't hide type of deal. And I think that's what's happening is like something's hiding. And this doesn't have to be something, I'm not sure what this word means right now. Nefarious, salacious. These are just things that are coming to mind. Untoward, unbeknownst. There's a lot of these words coming to my head, but it might not be something like that, okay? It might just be something different. But there is a transformation happening. This lines up with the astrology, which there are other channels for that, but I feel it, okay? I feel it resonates with me, with the earth, the pull on us, on the organism, is forcing, not forcing in a bad way, a purge, a transformation. I'm thinking about when you burn the land. I know that people do this. Maybe it's Native Americans that do this, or a lot of people, farmers. Okay, when you burn the land so that new minerals can surface, so that it can be fertile again. It's something like that. But what's getting in the way of this is, I guess, pride, because you see this little rat guy creeping away. He's not contributing. 12, 13. This is faded. It's a natural progression. Let's see what's in the next future position. Boy, do I hope that my mic is not banging up against my shirt. That one. Temperance, love it, love it. Transformation, look at that, 12, 13, 14. It's in a row. It is faded. This is divine alchemy. The angels balancing things. You can see the birds from above. It's almost like this teddy bear here, this big teddy bear is like a love language from the divine. Like, this is something you guys will understand. Look, it's a teddy bear. You guys like this stuff, right? You use it in parades. Here you go. Let me show you in your language. This is for your own good. It's not so bad, but it is changing. And if you look at the leaves in this picture, it looks like autumn, because it is, right? It's a Thanksgiving Day parade. That's when they do these big balloons. The leaves are falling. They have to fall. They have to fall off, just like the scorched earth. It has to happen for us to have something fertile to harvest. The sequence is really significant to me. Let's see what's in the environment. Ooh, that just fell out. In the environment, 7. Yeah, looking at the investment. Do we want to scorch this earth? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean burn, I don't mean it like that. I mean like a crop, okay? Specific example. Do we want to do that? That's going to take some time out of the schedule, and we're going to have to get new fertilizer, or we may have to, defer things. Defer. This is the evaluation that's happening. It's like even people who think, oh yeah, I know that this transformation is necessary, they're still evaluating where they are now and what it took to get there, and what will it be in the future. There's a lot of unknowns with the moon card in the focus section. But let's just see what some of the hopes and fears are around the situation, because this is really about magnetizing. This has to do with astrology and the earth. This has to do with some sort of alchemical process that involves nature, organic matter, and everything that is changing, transforming, evolving. Yes, the truth. The truth. Well, that's a hope and a fear. Yeah, the truth. Where are we? And how do we go? Where do we go from here? There's only one line here, one line, one train line. And as these swords cards progress, there's more train lines that are added on these cards. But there's only one, and it's red. It's like an artery from organic being to divine being, a bridge, an artery. And as you could see, this cockroach, he is huge. He's traversing 2 burrows here, which is impossible in real life, right? It's absurd. It's insane. But it's what's happening. Makes me also, I just got a channel about it's something called Alice in Wonderland syndrome. I think that's what it's called. You can Google this because I'm not a medical expert here, but I think it's a psychological syndrome where because of, it could be stress induced, or it could have something to do with a processing disorder, but somehow images appear either much smaller than they are in reality or much bigger than they are in reality. And sometimes those objects are side by side, so it could be very disorienting for a person. Something about that. Let's see what's in the outcome. Mother Mary, that may have something to do with Earth. Something to do with like, where is the fertile ground? Where do we start? What's going to grow the most? For the most? I don't feel like that's the one. Eight of Wands, because it's happening fast. It's happening fast. It's a really fast moving card, almost like the Chariot. It's coming from all different directions, going to one direction. It's something about ancient and futuristic combining. I'm going to tell you how I got there. It's part of my process. But if I didn't know more about New York City, I would imagine that there was central air in here. But knowing what I know there's not. But let's just pretend that there is. That a lot of these apartments here have central air. But this one doesn't. It has a window unit. And it's something about integrating the systems, the old with the new. And that's not easy. And yet it's necessary. On the back of the deck, we have the Tower. So funny, there's fireworks in the background, and yesterday was the 4th of July. We're all on this ride together, but we're not controlling it. And that might be a tough pill for some to swallow. But I think we can all see that things are rapidly changing. I think I see a shooting star in the background. You're on a ride, but the ride that you're on is in the universe, and the universe doesn't belong to anyone. And it's mystical, it's expanding, and it's magical, and we are allowed to be here, but there are rules. There's something with that. That has something to do with the transformation, the temperance. Boy, I really do hope that this mic is not hitting up against my shirt. All right, I want to clarify a little bit just about what this transformation in the near future is about, this Death card. For some people, this could be the death of an old career, an old identity, an old network, an old system. a system that's not functioning efficiently, or a system that needs to be maintained. Again, with the Eight of Wands, it's happening fast. I think it's happening this way because if it didn't happen this way, it wouldn't happen. Just trust that it's divinely led based on the cards that we're seeing here. This Ace of Swords, this truth coming from above, from this higher perspective that's trying to integrate with us on an individual and global level. Something intangible becoming tangible. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It is about scorched earth. This is the thing not to fear. Yes, yes, I understand. The current currency is wealth, legacy, growth, investment, your bloodline, the generations. I understand all of that. But what if God, source, creator, the universe, sees us all as one big family? It's a different perspective. I believe that this is the fear, that there's some redistribution of energy, power, finances, whatever it is. This is a fear that is keeping the collective in some sort of a stuck backwards pattern. And that's why this change is coming in, because you have to traverse two ways of thinking in order to grow, which will be good for everyone. I want to just get a card on. Okay, yeah. The moon, I was trying to clarify the Seven of Pentacles in the environment, the current investment, the things that people are looking at and wondering how they can change it, adapt it, make it grow. I don't think it's going to be clear, so trust that, because it's something that's happening organically, just like the seasons, just like the weather. You adapt to it. That's all. You adapt to it. You're made for it, because God's not going to give you anything that you can't handle. But let's look at the moon over here in the focus position. This moon. Let's see if we can get anything on that. We're moving towards calmer waters. Look at that. We're moving towards calmer waters. And if you look at that pirate-looking ship in the background, that big sailboat, the sails look calm. It's like dusk time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a tough decision, though. See how that sword is firmly in the ground, and it looks like it bent. You know how hard it is to bend that? What is that made of? Steel? It's not easy to bend that. But it's happening for the greater good. But it depends on your perspective. The Hanged Man over here, are you looking at it as moving towards something that's going to be safer for your legacy, for the future? Or are you looking at it as moving away from something that felt safe, but maybe it's really not, and the divine knows better? What was this Three of Swords heartbreak? Anything on that in the past? Oh, Temperance and the Five of Wands. Okay. This is about, like literally, and again, I'm hearing alchemical, some sort of battle. I'm seeing a battle in the unseen. This feels spiritual. A divine intervention. This alchemy here It doesn't feel good when it's happening. No matter what side you're on, if there's a side, it doesn't feel good. It's literally like new neural pathways being developed or transforming into something different. It's not comfortable, but you went through this already. You're something different now. That's how you're looking at things from a different perspective. But maybe it's with new eyes. These two eyes are different colors. Maybe you're merging the old with the new. Again, ancient and futuristic. And there's forces that are making it very difficult because it's a major shift. Right? I don't want to keep this going too long, so I'm going to pull one more clarifying card for what's happening in the Eight of Wands outcome. All of this energy going towards some end, not end, but result, a transformation, a change in your life. My gosh, the Death card again. Yeah, it's just a transformation. This feels massive, bigger than you. I think that there's a surrender that needs to take place because if you fight it, it would be like fighting nature. It's like you're wasting your energy. Don't do that. Surrender to it. That's where the power is. Go with the flow, the whirlpool. Go with the flow. Don't swim against the current because you won't get anywhere. You might feel like you're staying in the same place, but you are. But you're not moving with the current. All right. I think that's the message, but I'm being called to look at this Hanged One in strengths and weaknesses as seeing things from a higher and different perspective. I just want to get a little bit of information on that because it feels like advice, and it is. It's the Eight of Cups. It's understanding that you are the magic. You're working with the divine. You can alchemize. This is happening for the better of you. The moon isn't so scary as that crescent in the background. You're leaving those cups behind because you know that there's more where that came from. You know how to harvest. You know how to farm. This is about the surrender and not having to be forced into the whirlpool. You're jumping in because you know that you can swim. All right, let's just see what's on the back of the deck. Three of Cups. You're not doing it alone. Looks like you have friends with common confirmation. What time is it? 10, 5, 7, 10, 10, 12 might mean something to you. Or 12, 10. Yeah, you're not going to be alone. People are going to work together because they understand that this is a big deal. And there's good things ahead. You will be supported. All right, I'm going to leave the message there. And I'm so glad that you found me if you did. And if you listened till the end, thank you so much. Consider subscribing to my channel if you resonated with any of this and liking the video. And I hope to see you guys soon. All right, have a great day and bye-bye.